Hello everyone, Switch Double here. This is my Q&A video based on 6,500 subscribers, and this will be a little bit different Q&A video, answer video than normally do. You will be now able to see me and my girlfriend's face, but I do really hope that all of you will enjoy and also having a good time to listen to our answers. Even though that my girlfriend will be answered all the questions, since I decided to allow her to answer all the questions, even some of them were not perhaps even based directly to her, but I decided to let her do so. Only so as one way to all of you to know at least what she would answer if those questions were based focused on her own also. But I do really hope that all of you really appreciate that part. Ever since then, this is a very much interesting idea when we first talk about this. Since the first time you only heard her voice, but now you will be able to see her yourself. But that is all talk about now. Let's talk to answer some of the questions that we have.
Hello, everybody. This is Fire Goddess here, coming to you live from my back porch. Excuse for the way I look, but I have had a very early morning. Plus, I will be getting this hair re-dyed soon to a neon purple, so look forward to that. Currently, it is very, very cold here in Michigan. It is about 50 degrees here right now. And currently it is 6:26. I would have done this early in the morning, but because I had an early morning, I had other things to do, so thankfully I'm getting it done now. So that's what's going on here with me here in Michigan, and now we shall move on to some questions.
The first question is from my good friend Cody Lane the Dragon. Since this question is about directly from both me and my girlfriend, the first question he asked, what will you do when COVID-19 is finally gone? Well, normally I'll probably do the same thing as I had done before, like go to work, like make my love stories, basically living the life. Even though when I'm out in public, it feels like that this COVID-19 has never happened. It's like people are living their own normal lives as normally. People are are spending time talking on the streets, and even though that COVID-19 is real, but sometimes it doesn't even feel as if it never happened. At least from what my feeling of it when I was out for a walk. His second question is, which MLP shipping do you prefer for Spike? And he said either Rarity, Spike, Smolder, or Spike. Personally, I would say Rarity with Spike. Even though the Smolder and Spike is a very interesting idea for shipping, but I prefer with Spike and Rarity. After all, they have been one among the oldest shippings ever since the show started. His third question is, what if MLP 2021 were to be a sequel to G4 Melopony or something? That would have been a very interesting idea for as a sequel. I mean, it would have been quite amazing after all, since the first movie came out, and I would say I'm really, really hoping to see all of this to be happen though. His fourth question is, will MLP Pony Life show Spike's chance with Rarity? Well, I haven't even seen the Pony Life yet, only some clips are from the show, but from my unheard, Hasbro decided to publish to start showing the new show on YouTube. So I'm actually looking forward to see all the particular episodes, even though I haven't even seen all of them yet. At least that is what I'm hoping for. His fifth question is, can you do a love story, true love between Spike and Super Nebula? The answer is yes. I will do that, and that won't be any much of a trouble for it. It will be done as soon as possible. His sixth question is, should MLP G4 return? Yes. I really wish that they could return G4 for at least a few more seasons. Ever since they decided to just end the show at season 9, it still has a lot of potentials for future parts of stories. But I still don't understand why Hasbro decided to end a very successful show after nearly a decade and decide to bring an end to G4 to start a G5. Though it was really very sad that it happened, but still very unclear why. And it is from what I understand, but I do wish they could at least bring back G4 for more seasons. After all, we don't know, at least we know from G4's season 10 comic series, where we've seen a small group went to Sokora's homeland for the very first time. I was really happy to see at least maybe seen or maybe as a mention about their homeland in a TV show, or even perhaps been even seen Saudi Arabia for once. But sadly it never happened. But I do wish they could at least should bring back G4 once more. His second question is, can there be ever a crossover between MLP with some other Hasbro-based shows like Transformers? But in fact, since that idea is quite interesting. At least we know from a comic series based from a crossover between Transformers and MLP. I mean, that is a very interesting idea, but that never actually came across my mind in that Hasbro would ever do that as a love story or at least some comic series. But if that had happened in either another comic series or perhaps as a TV show, but if Hasbro would have done that with a crossover between Transformers and MLP, why not do that as some sort of short, at least a short episode series based from the comics? That would have been a quite more interesting idea though. But sadly, it never happened since the show is cancelled or at least ended. But it's still the very idea that based from a crossover between MLP with other Hasbro based shows. That is a very interesting idea. Mikhail had asked me 5 questions. Number 1. Do you enjoy your YouTube channel success? Well, first of all, I was not originally planning to make any success on my channel, but actually, I do really enjoy my success on YouTube, and I'm really happy to see that so many people have been really much grown over the past 11 years and especially with my Lust Story series, since really have taken off. I mean, if I hadn't even done that, my channel wouldn't have been any success at all. But truly from that, I really feel happy to have at least some success on my channel. I do. But I do really do that. Her second question is, how is your life in quarantine? Well, I have never been in a quarantine or in a lockdown here in Sweden, since we never had any lockdown or quarantine here at all. Rather from compared to Italy, United States, for example. For example, United States, those states had their lockdowns and quarantine for that, but we didn't have any either of lockdown or quarantine, except for one place though, retirement homes do actually in fact had some sort of quarantine and lockdown. People were not allowed to go in there to see their relatives because since they were more in the big risk groups of the virus. But other than that, I haven't been much as a quarantine, but I do take this recommendation social distance quite serious. Other from that, my life in post quarantine has been basically normal daily life, supposedly. The third question is, do you have any siblings? Yes, I have an older sister and a younger brother. And I won't tell exactly how old they are, but my younger brother though, he is a bit taller than me. I mean, I used to be the tallest in the family until my brother grew past me with a few inches. But yeah, I do have an older brother, older sister, and younger brother. The fourth question is, did you like MLP and then you made love stories out of them? Well, at first, I wasn't much as a fan of My Little Pony and Forgetting. I was in fact just looking at the random MLP stories on reviews on YouTube, and I just wanted to maybe try, maybe do some MLP love stories or something. I was not really expecting that to be having such substance in those series, and basically based upon a new start. When I first started this series, or at least do love stories on MLP, I was just making first about the main six and a few background characters. And it was after then when the people actually started asking me to do some of their requests. And even though at the beginning I was not much as a brony at first, but after seeing the show's episode on TV, online, for at least maybe as 1 or 2 seasons, I actually felt interested and liked this show. After that, I became a brony. And that is all based from that. Our fifth and final question is, when you always show the white pony with orange hair, is that your avatar as a pony? Yes, it is my OC Shooting Star. I made him as my OC since I've actually felt somehow more connected to an alicorn, and especially to those particular colors. But yeah, that is my pony OC Shooting Star. Sorry if I mispronounced this name, but the name was asked by Alejandro Martin had asked me one question. One question is that, what is my eye color? They are in fact blue, since he said since you have them closed. Well, my eye colors is blue. B1G Breezy had asked me, my question is positioned down below. So, what exactly inspired you to do YouTube? Well, actually, the very first that inspired me to do YouTube wasn't actually anything. I was actually just, when I first made my first video, I wasn't inspired by particularly anything. I was just doing some random video to see what it's like to do one and post on my channel, and it just ended up better than expected. And even though that I made 2 series of Stargate Universe, some random ones, I was just doing some random videos, but after seeing some videos from Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill, Firebrand, and among others, I was actually very interested, inspired from their work, how much they had inspired from their own comfort zone, being able to bring out some of their thoughts, their opinions about the movies, even episodes from this particular show, which was directly focused on kids. I was like, random people talking about this particular kid show, but though they were actually doing some reviews about shows, but their opinions about this particular episode and what they thought was a good part. So I decided, why not do something similar? And from that point, which also restarted my reviews about even MLP episodes, and even restart from this very good success series, True Love series. And from that point, I was really very interested to see more. And that part when what is in fact was watching Dr. Wolf, Silver Quill, and Firefox, Golden Fox, and some of them others. They are a true reason that inspired me exactly to do YouTube. But they were not exactly this true reason that I started my YouTube channel in the first place. But after seeing some of their videos, they talked about different topics from MLP, that in fact started my inspiration to do MLP based stories, not True Love, True Friend, and some others. That is the true reason, exactly what inspired me to do YouTube in the first place with MLP, and I'm really proud that I focused to do so. If I hadn't, I probably would never have met some of my great friends and even my girlfriend at first. And I'm just happy and proud to be able to help others to feeling happy of their particular love stories and just having a good time. That is my true reason though. The next question is from Jason Janex. Sorry if I mispronounced part of your name. He asked me 14 questions, and a lot of them this time. But his first question is, Switch Double, do you enjoy making videos for your fans? Yes, in fact I do. I love to make my stories to others to have, so they can watch my stories if they have a bad day from school or work, or just having a bad day otherwise, or if it's just a boring day and it's rain outside and they can just go outside to do something, and that they can watch my stories to cheer them up to having at least some good day to that. So, but yeah, I do love to make videos for my fans. I do. His second question is, Swedish Diablo, after you finish on some requests from that person called Mr. Club requested, can you do Spike Smolder video? Yes, that I can do, absolutely. But I do think I do actually have made Spike with Smolder a while back, but if I do say, yes, I do have fact, I think I actually have made that one. His third question is, Swedish Devil, how do you feel about making your fans day with your videos? Actually, I do feel proud to have been able to help others if they're having a bad day, or just feeling down, or just feeling bored or something, and that they having the stories being requested and they ask for, or that they just liked in my stories that I have made some of their favorite shipping stories like Twilight with Rainbow, Spike with Rarity, some of them among others. I'm just feeling happy and proud to be able to produce some stories to make others happy, or at least maybe introducing others for the Brownie fandom in the first place. I was actually the same thing. I was watching other people's MLP videos, even they weren't like mine, but they were actually from that point when I actually started enjoying to watch some of my MLP stories and even start watching the show itself. But I feel proud to be able to help others to having a good day if you're feeling bored or something. But that is my answers for that. His fourth question is, what is the most ridiculous thing you have seen online recently? Wow, that's actually, I have to admit, the most ridiculous thing I saw on YouTube recently was, in fact, um, this was actually recorded in Baltimore quite recent, or at least a few years ago, but I saw this video recently that there was this guy who was driving but at the same time playing Pokemon Go on his phone, and that he was crashed into a car and then somehow backed away and drove away from their place, that location. But the fact that the only thing, the most ridiculous thing is, the car he drove into was in fact a police car. He had literally been driving by playing Pokemon Go and he drove into a police car and took off from that while still playing the game. That was the most ridiculous thing I have recently seen though. I cannot imagine the police like, what just happened? That is probably like their reaction. His next question is, what are your thoughts on this whole pandemic? Well, I probably been going to be short on this one, because if I talk about this, it could be longer. But my thoughts about this pandemic is, well, honestly, there was something which we would never be able to understand firstly. And like I said, this was something happened without we had ever expected to even realize it. This can actually go happen perhaps even again, because my father had told me we should expect another pandemic for the next 5, maybe the next 20 years. He expected and believed that this could happen again and again. And next time, maybe they can be even worse. I mean, at least we know how to be prepared for this pandemic, but we should always be ready for if this could happen again. But my thoughts about all of this pandemic is worry. Knowing that there are people who is ignoring all the recommendations, all the warnings about this virus itself is going on. I mean, people aren't do anything, just do their normal lives without, and even doesn't even care about these recommendations and the laws, the rules about this, like this social distancing, and even go to clubs, nightclubs, bars, where it can be crowded and easily being, if you have been having some symptoms about this corona or COVID-19 and spread it without, doesn't even care if this person next one to that. That is my thoughts about this. I used to like really worrying about this. Some people doesn't even care about this, even a precaution about this virus pandemic going on. Personally, I do take this very, very serious, and this should everyone do, because who knows what if you will be infected and you might be one of the, even you're not probably not in one of risk groups, something like that, you can still be very much affected. Even you say, think, oh, if I have corona, I will survive. And the next you think, and the doctor will say, is you have less than 5% chance to survive. We should always be aware about this and always be prepared for any such pandemic can happen again. But my warning to everyone else is, follow the rules, follow the recommendations, and stay safe. That's all I can say from my thoughts about this particular virus compared with the pandemic that's going on. The next question is, what's your favorite place to get from food or to eat? Well, I normally don't go out eating anymore, as not because of the pandemic going on, but if I were to say, probably McDonald's, but that doesn't happen that quite often anymore. I mean, not due to the pandemic going on, just haven't built much that. So the only thing I would say is probably homemade food. But But if I would say, probably McDonald's. At least from that. His next question is, do you and your girlfriend have any fond memories together? Well, since we haven't even been met in person yet, but we do have some fond memories together when we video chat from time to time. We don't do that every week, but we do it as often as we can. But we do actually have quite some funny memories together. All the things we talked about, like having a family together, get married and living together, sort of things. But that is one of the things that I could say as one of my fond memories with her. His next question is, when did you and your girlfriend get together? We were together in April the 15th, 2018. We have been together for 2 years and 6 months. This is in fact the longest relationship I ever had so far. In the past, they were not lasting particularly long. Few weeks, few months, but the longest I had before this was actually about a year. But I am really happy that when I get together with her. But like I said, we have been together for 2 years. His next question is, what's your and your girlfriend's favorite movie? Well, my favorite movie would be The Goonies. It's a very funny movie about a group of kids finding a treasure. That is my favorite movie. His next question is, what's your and your girlfriend's favorite drink? Well, my favorite drink is Pepsi. That is my top number one favorite drink. This next question is, who is someone you and your girlfriend look up to? Well, that is actually a little bit tricky to answer, but I would say the one I do look up to is probably my dad. Even though we have fights from time to time, but he is the only one I can sort of think of that I can look up to. This next question is, do you enjoy doing YouTube? Yes, absolutely. There's a one way for me to be helping others have a good day by using my skills in magic, I would say, to make videos to make others feeling happy. That is something I do really enjoy to help others to at least enjoy my YouTube. His next question is, do you and your girlfriend have any fears? Yes. In fact, I do have 2 fears. The first one was actually fear of heights. When I was a kid, I was terrified of heights. But over years, I actually been getting better. Sometimes I can look down from a high bridge and it's just like alright, I just go and walk without even feeling anything. But it might be a little bit better, a different way though when I was going to be on a plane that is several thousands of feet up in the air and looking from a plane. That's pretty much another different way to say it, but I will try to handle that part. But my second fear is, well, truth is, my second fear is that if I would lose my girlfriend, that is my second fear. I cannot imagine how it was like to lose her in any way. I really would never want to think about that. Even if that she is my true love. And I cannot imagine a life without her. That's one of my fears that I can say for. His final question is, what do you both do on your free time? Well, on my free time, I usually watch YouTube and work on my stories, of course. But that is basically for most of my spare free time I do. Of course, even talk to my girlfriend, but that end up almost at like quite late, around almost at midnight for my time zone now. But if it was a good weather, I will take a walk and maybe bake. I usually do bake. I do. Cakes, cookies, bread, you name it. That is answers for my questions for this though. The next group of questions is coming from Lorenzo Stortuni. He asked me 12 questions and wow, a lot. The number 1. When did you meet each other? Well, we actually did meet up on YouTube. She was actually recommended to one of my videos on her channel, and from that point we started talking on first mostly on comments, and we moved on from YouTube to Facebook where we started talking more and eventually became a couple. His second question is favorite chef. Well, they had to be more specific to what type of show, but if this directly to My Little Pony, for example, I would say Rarity, Spike, and Twilight with Rainbow. That is my favorite ship in MLP. His third question is favorite character, and I assume he means from MLP. It would be Spike, Fluttershy, Twilight, and Luna. That is my favorite characters from the show. His fourth question is favorite princess. That is absolutely clear to be Luna. She is my favorite princess of all. His fifth question is, do you think MLP the movie is good or bad? Well, personally, I think it's a very good movie. When I first heard when some information came out about this movie, I was really surprised to even hear about it. And I was really curious what was the bill going to be about, and especially when some pieces of other information came out, like new characters, new different creatures, like the hippogriffs, the pirates, and the Capper, for example. I was really very interested to learn more about Capper and the pirates, but most of all, the hippogriffs. The design of those were really interested, and I was really intrigued to learn more about these characters, and especially to see the movie. And I was really surprised how good the movies were. There was a lot of more details. Learning more even about, for example, Tempest. She was a very interesting first villain to be as a turn out a good guy. That was really good climax part of the story. Even learning something more about Storm King. Sadly, don't know that he will never return, but apart from that, the movie was good. His sixth question is, how would you react if you were suddenly prized for such great competition for this fandom? Wow. Interesting question and even good one. But if I would say my reaction would be, wow, really? I have no idea. I feel honored. That would be my reaction if that happened. His seventh question is your age. I'm 29, but I'm going to be 30 within the next 2 weeks. His eighth question is, Beside MLP, which is your favorite series? I would have to say Pokemon. Even though I haven't seen all the episodes from the old series. Even especially though, I preferred with the original one, which one were better. But the Pokemon series is a good one. It has been long on for many years, and I do hope for more generations to be coming out. But otherwise from that, I was really interested about seeing Pokemon for the very first time. His 9th question is favorite saga like Harry Potter, Star Trek, Halo, Star Wars. I would have to say Star Wars, since I actually grew up to watch Star Wars. But if I had to say episode 1 to 6 is probably one of my favorites. But episode 6 is probably my top favorite of all. But consider from episode 7 to 9, even the movies are well made, but to me those movies aren't even considered as canon. Even since long before that, years before episode 7 and 9 even was even remotely made or even thought of, there were a lot of more basically more stories that came out, more storyline. Luke got married and have a son of his own, and even something like that. But if I have to say, even though after Disney bought the rights to the Star Wars from George Lucas, even though I still considered episodes 7 to 9 are non-canon, and that the only canon based are the expanded universe with legends. But otherwise, from my favorite saga would be Star Wars, except for minus with episode 7 to 9. Sorry, Star Wars fans, but that's my own opinion, of course. His 10th question is, have you ever met anyone who changed your lives besides YouTube? Well, honestly, not really, except for my best friend Alex, has been my best friend for over 20 years. But he's not only as my best friend, but he's like a brother to me. I mean, from that, he's probably the only one. The 11th question is for me. Switch Diablo. What if I told you I have a couple of ideas for a video of yours? Well, my answer would be, I'm all ears. I'm always open to hear other stories' potentials for my YouTube channel, and I'm always open to hear about other potentials. I do. The final question is, name 3 places you would like to visit sometime. Well, number 1, United States. Number 2, Iceland. Number 3, Finland. Since my dad is from Finland and I'm really strong, proud of my Finnish heritage, that is the 3 places I would like to visit. But most of all, United States, so I can see my girlfriend for the very first time, and even to be able to travel alone to a different country. That is my answers. Clark the Flareon asked me 2 questions. Number 2. The first is for my girlfriend, but number two, how is the Solar Flare Leaf story going? Answer is, it has been made and is uploaded. His third question is, hey Switch W, can you do more love stories based on Evolution Squad? And yes, in fact, I have been reading some more about the comics and even seeing some of the comic dubs on YouTube. So, but yeah, there will be more about, at least more about the story from based on the Evolution Squad. I have to admit though, It is a very interesting comic series, and I will still do more of the stories for that.
Hello everybody, Fire Goddess again. Now we will be getting to some questions. These will be done in no particular order, so let's get started. Okay, Mr. Cloth, which now goes by Cloth the Flareon, asks, Fire Goddess, do you usually help out with his stories? The answer is yes, I do. I happen to go on both DeviantArt, Derpaburu, Google, and any other sites that I can find that may or may not have pictures and children for different shippings. Jason Chanix, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name, asked me personally 2 questions. His first one, Fire Goddess, how do you feel about your boyfriend doing YouTube? I feel honestly very good about it. That's how I met him. That's how we first started talking once we and I started commenting on his videos, and then slowly we exchanged Facebooks, and now we talk there. So him doing YouTube is honestly really enjoyable, and I enjoy helping him out. His second question is, Fire Goddess, do you help with the love stories? And yes, I do. In any way possible that I can. Hey everybody, this is Fire Goddess again. I had to switch to inside because it was getting way too cold outside for my liking. Excuse for the background. This is my mother's room, and if you're asking why I'm not recording this in my room, don't ask. Just don't. Anyways, let's move on. Lorenzo Stroni asked 12 questions. 13 actually. 12 of them are 11 of them are aimed at both of us. One's aimed at me personally. So first I'll answer the one for me personally, then I'll go to both. This one might also be a 2-parter. Fire Goddess, have you ever wanted to be something else? Like actress, chef, policewoman, teacher, and a very big etc. Well, I do have a liking for marine life, so not necessarily a marine biologist, but something similar to that. But the thing holding me back from that was I can't swim worth a crap. So, yeah, I'd be one dead woman if I tried it out. Hello, okay, so this might be more than just a 2-parter, but I'll try to answer as many in this one part as I can. Okay, the first one, which is aimed at both of us, when did you meet each other? Short answer, YouTube. Long answer, YouTube, then transferred to Facebook. Number two, these are also by Lorenzo Stroni, just so you're aware. 2 is favorite shipping. Oh Lord. Let's see. If I had to, absolutely had to pick a shipping, probably Cadance and Shiny Armor. Mostly because Cadance is my favorite out of the princesses. Number 3, favorite character. Okay. Favorite character, just off main 6, Rarity. Number 4, both. Favorite princess. If by that you mean MLP, then Cadance. If by Disney princess, then Jasmine. Number 5, aimed at both. Do you think MLP the movie is good or bad? Well, it all depends on really how you look at it. If you would have preferred more of this, preferred more of that, sort of things. But I think it's personally good. Okay, so hopefully this will be the last part with Lorenzo Stroni's questions. Excuse for there being so many parts. I'm using Facebook Messenger camera slash video clips for this. Don't ask why, because That's the only thing I got right now. Okay. Number 6, aimed at both. How would you react if you were suddenly prized for such a great contribution to this fandom? Let me see. I'd probably enjoy it. But I wouldn't necessarily go over the top thrilled about it. Not necessarily saying that I wouldn't enjoy it, but I'm not gonna overreact like, oh wow, I got a huge contribution, that sort of thing. But I'd enjoy it. Number 7, aimed at both. Age. I'm 24. I'll be 25 next year on the 8th of June. Number 8, both. Besides MLP, which is your favorite series? I don't watch a lot of anime, but I have watched all 3 current seasons of Free Iwatobi Swim Club. I have watched Ouran High School Host Club. I also watched Pokemon. All seasons. I know some people prefer Ash the way he used to be, and some prefer him now. But I don't really want to start a fight on that, so I'll just say I like Pokemon. And quite a few other things. Okay, correction. This is going to be the last part of Lorenzo Stroni's questions. Okay, number 9, which is aimed at both. Favorite saga, like Harry Potter, Star Trek, Halo, Star Wars, etc. Okay, first of all, there's a huge feud between Star Trek and Star Wars. I don't want to get into any of that crap, but I grew up watching Star Wars, so I'll just leave it at that. My 2 older cousins are big on Harry Potter. They have the books, merchandise, movies, everything. I know exactly what Harry Potter is, and I know how big of a fandom it is. But as watching the movies, I know this might seem pathetic, but I've never really watched a single one all the way through. Okay, so number 10, which is aimed at both. Have you ever met anyone who changed your lives besides each other? Only one I can really think about is my best friend named Cassie. Who currently we don't talk much because she has her life and I have mine. She has a job and so forth, and an almost 4-year-old to take care of. Let's see. And then the last one, which is aimed at both. Name 3 places you would like to visit sometime. Well, 1, Sweden. 2, Hawaii. 3, Japan. And that is all of Lorenzo Stroni's questions aimed to either both me or both. Okay, I found out Jason Chanix actually had more questions. Sorry if I've missed these, so I'll start with them now. I don't know if any of these are aimed directly toward me or him or both, so I'll try to answer all of them anyways. So, number 1, what's the most ridiculous thing you've seen online recently? There's a lot of things ridiculous going on online right now, so finding the most ridiculous thing, kind of impossible to answer that one. Number 2, what are your thoughts on this whole pandemic? Oh boy. Well, I don't really want to get anyone irritated, so I'll just give a short, hopefully not triggering answer. There's good, and then there's bad. You think about it any way you want. I don't want to start a fight with anybody. So my thought is, I'll be happy when it's over, but at the same time, I'm glad they're reinforcing a few safety procedures here and there where they need to be. 3, what's your favorite place to get from food or to eat at? There is way too many of those to name, so there's quite a lot. Do you and your girlfriend have any fond memories together? Yes, there are plenty of fond memories that we have together. One being our 1-year anniversary. We usually spend that just by video chatting until we're able to physically go see each other either sometime next year or the year after that, hopefully. Okay, there's going to be a few more parts to this, so stay tuned. Okay, this is a continuation from Jason Shanek's questions. Number 5. When did you and your girlfriend get together? April 15th, 2018. We were friends before then and there on YouTube and Facebook until he proclaimed his love for me. Number 7. What is you and your girlfriend's favorite movie? It depends on the genre and the actors in it, the plot of the movie, and so forth. But I don't necessarily really have a favorite movie. But I like comedies, I like romance films, I like animated movies. You know, that sort of thing. What's you and your girlfriend's favorite drink? I have a lot of favorite drinks. There are a few drinks that I can't mention here because even though most of his general audience is 18 plus, I don't want to risk talking about, other types of drinks. So I'd have to say probably Pepsi. And I know that Pepsi and Coke have a feud and everything, but I ain't gonna start any of that stuff. I drink both Pepsi and Coke equally. Number 8. Who is someone that you and your girlfriend look up to? To be honest, I'm not really sure. I don't really have anybody specifically. So, can't necessarily really answer that one. So, hang on. Do you and your girlfriend have any fears? Yes, I have fear of spiders. Okay, so I'll answer his next question. Okay, hello guys. This is the last of Jason Shanek's questions. Number 11. What do you and your girlfriend do in your free time? Okay, I have a lot of jewelry making supplies, so I make jewelry in my free time. I watch and catch up on my favorite TV shows in my free time. I love and play, cuddle, snuggle, etc. with my 5 cats. So yeah, that's really what I do in my free time, aside from when my mother's, feeling great enough to, drive out to a few places that we go to on a daily basis. Okay, moving on to Cody Lane the Dragon's questions. Don't know if any of these are aimed directly at either me or Swedish Diablo, so I'll just answer them anyway. What will you do when COVID-19 is finally gone? Hopefully start planning a trip to Sweden so I can finally spend some time with Swedish Diablo in person. Number 2, which MLP shipping do you prefer for Spike? Rarity X Spike or Smolder X Spike? Personally, I still go with Rarity X Spike. Rarity X Spike. No hating on Smolder X Spike, people, but that's what I go with. Number 3. What if 2021 were to be the sequel to G4 MLP or something? I really hope so, because the ending of the first MLP movie really deserved a sequel, at least in my opinion. Number 4. Will MLP Pony Life show Spike's chance with Rarity? I really hope so. I hope so too. I haven't really seen much of Pony Life, because I've been catching up on a lot of other things, but it seems pretty cute. Number 6. Should MLP G4 return? I wish for that so much. I wish it would return too, because we could have seen the next generation. I mean, well, aside from Lester Dawn and her new main six group of friends, aside from Pinky's son Lil Cheese, quote, Lil Cheese was confirmed to be a cult and not a filly. And Big Mac and Sugar Ball's son Big Sugar. That is his canon name, just so you're aware. Okay, this is the last of Cody Lane the Dragon's questions, aside from the one that's aiming toward his shipping, which is Spike X Nebula. Pretty sure he can do that. As to when he can do that, I'm not 100% sure. But number 7, can there be a crossover between MLP with some of the other Hasbro-based shows like Transformers? Like them together? I'm not 100% sure necessarily how that's going to work. I mean, despite Swedish Diablo making a few videos on crossovers like Twilight Sparkle with Optimus Prime and so forth, I'm not sure. But depending on how they go about it, I'm pretty sure it can work. Yeah, go for it. Don't know if this is necessarily aimed at either me or Swedish Diablo, but I'll answer it anyway. Alejandra Martin, you got to, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that last part incorrectly. One question, of what color are your eyes? Mine, I've had a contradicting over the years. Some people say they're green, some people say they're hazel. And personally, I think they're green. Well, everybody, that was all the questions we've had, aside from the ones that we either aimed directly at Swedish Diablo or otherwise. I thank you very much. I enjoyed answering all your questions. So now you've got to see me, for the first time. I, hope I didn't disappoint with, my looks. I don't usually look like this, but like I said, I've been up since noon, and I'm still usually very, very sleepy, even after waking up and having coffee. So yes, I will be getting my hair, dyed, purple here within the next few weeks, hopefully, if my mother's available to help me out with it. I will then ask Swedish Diablo if he can upload a picture of it, if you guys would be interested in seeing that. And then I will have purple hair for at least 2-3 months. So yeah. So anyways, I hope to do more of these in the future. This is Fire Goddess. Signing out, my lovelies. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, Swedish Diablo here. Me and my girlfriend are very appreciated that all of you has got the questions for our Q&A video together. Since this was in fact our very first video, our Q&A video with showing our faces together, and we both of us were really happy to answer all the questions you had for us. And I am also want to apologize for if there was some sort of static in the video. I wasn't really expecting that to happen in first place. But at least I want to be apologized for that. But both of us are really happy that we have been able to do this love story, this Q&A video to be answer your questions, and we were expecting to have maybe do something like this in the future itself, like more than in the future. And even including with perhaps with both of us in one place to be asking questions. Even though that the were some of these questions may not have been we would never expect it. There weren't any bad ones, not single thing from that, but it's just they were interesting. A lot of those questions were actually very interested to learn more of what you want, what you thought, what we have for answers for them. To be honest though, both of us were really, especially me though, I was really interested to learn more about these questions. I'm just happy to be able to answer all the questions, and both of us really hoping that all the answers are good enough for you to learn more about us, especially now when you also were able to see and hear my girlfriend talking herself in the video. Even there were some parts of these questions that I was curious. I was trying to figure out what best answer to make, or at least came up with really good answers. But the question still was very interesting. I really appreciate all your questions, even my girlfriend herself too. I mean, this was something we never expected though. But once again, thank you all for the questions, and we might do another Q&A video, maybe with some times in the future, both of us together in one place, but that might take a little bit, some time. But once again, we both really appreciate all of your questions. So, this is all I have for this Q&A video for now, and it was the longest I have made also. But yeah. This is Swedish Dumplo, and once again, thank you for all the questions, and we both hope that you all enjoy these answers, and subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is Swedish Dumplo, over and out.